Just before hatching, you and thousands of your siblings are released from under your mom's tail flap. It's about time! You have been crammed in there like a truckload of tomatoes for about a year. Finally, you get to crack open your egg, but immediately regret it. Congratulations. You're a king crab larva, what scientists call a zoea. You don't know what that means yet, but you're about to find out. You're microscopic, alone, and floating in the vast, merciless ocean. You resemble a tiny, squishy shrimp, but with humongous, bulging eyes. The downside is that you are also delicious, and everything around you wants to eat you. You notice a bright light above while floating around with thousands of your brothers and sisters. The bright light makes the water around you nice and warm. White and fluffy things are drifting by in the sky above. Is this heaven? Wait, that one looks like... Dad? Something big, dark, and fast blows past you, spinning you out of control. There it is again. You notice most of your family have disappeared. Then reality sets in. Welcome to the food chain. You are not at the top. You have one job right now. Don't die. Easier said than done when you are a bite-sized snack pack drifting through the water like a living, breathing Kit Kat bar. Everything wants to eat you. Fish, jellyfish, and even other crabs that had the misfortune of being born a few minutes earlier. Think of it as the ocean's version of Lord of the Flies, except you don't even have a spear to defend yourself. If, by some miracle, you avoid getting eaten, you have to molt. And doing the molt thing isn't pretty. This means shedding your skin over and over again and again, because nature decided that growing like a normal animal was too easy. You will molt every 1 to 2 weeks until you reach your next stage in life. But don't worry, you will be rewarded with your first exoskeleton. No, not that. That's an innie and you're an outie. Each molt makes you bigger and slightly less vulnerable. But you are also utterly helpless during your lovely coming out party. Imagine needing to upgrade your body by crawling out of it every couple of weeks while every predator within a mile radius gets notified. Right this way. Dinner is served. Your first few months are like League of Legends with no weapons. Just vibes and survival instincts. Somehow, against all odds, you make it to your juvenile stage. You have received your first exoskeleton and are getting bigger. Now you must make the most important journey of your life, finding the seafloor. You have to navigate your way through hundreds of meters of open ocean, each meter filled with creative new ways to die. Fish could inhale you without even noticing. You see jellyfish drifting around like beautiful death balloons. You see other juvenile crabs making their way down to the seafloor. Several squid attack and consume many of your brothers and sisters. Finally, you reach the bottom after what feels like an eternal descent. This is the deep sea floor, where the rent is paid in survival skills, and the neighbors are all trying to eat you. Your new home is a mix of mud, volcanic rocks, and the occasional skeleton of something that had an even worse day than you. Here is where you will spend the rest of your life if you're lucky. But you're thinking, will I ever see those beautiful white fluffy things again? You're no longer a planktonic speck. You've got a real shell and have something that resembles legs. But don't get too cocky, you only have 6 of them right now. That's right, you're a king crab, but at this stage, you look more like an off-brand spider than the terrifying armored tank you're meant to be. Over the next few years, you'll molt again and again. And each time you'll gain more legs, like some kind of horrific biological DLC pack. Eventually, you'll get to the big leagues. You'll have 10 legs, a spiky shell, and massive bone-crushing claws. But that's years away. Right now, you're still just trying to find something to eat without becoming something to eat. Hunting isn't glamorous. For some weird reason, you are attracted to the aroma of the putrefied, rotting flesh of almost anything that lands on the ocean floor. You're very hungry, so let's eat. Rotting fish carcass? Delicious. Gelatinous decomposing whale blubber? Why not? It doesn't matter if it's dead and stinks to high heaven. You're in. Let's do it. You have a huge appetite, so you scavenge whatever you can find. Every now and then, you see other creatures ascend to the surface. You vaguely remember that beautiful light and the fluffy white things you saw when you were little. But you are stuck down here at the bottom of the ocean. It's dark and cold, and you are usually alone. You wonder, what is it really like at the surface of this ocean? Once a year, you get a chance at romance. When breeding season comes around, it's like an underwater version of speed dating, but with the risk of cannibalism. The dudes, that's you, have to approach the babes who are about the same size as you, but are usually much hungrier. It's like trying to ask someone out while they're extremely hungry and in a bad mood. It can be very dangerous, but potentially worth it. The mating ritual is less long walks on the beach and more awkward sideways shuffling while trying not to become a post-date snack. When the ladies are ready to mate, they release a chemical that attracts the guys. You find your hot date and latch onto her like an overenthusiastic dance partner at your high school prom. Now you have to wait. And wait. Yep. Wait until she molts. She has to shed her exoskeleton before the fun part can begin. This can take several days, but you hold on tight, hoping you don't get eaten while patiently waiting for that special moment. Finally, she gets that look in her eyes. She slowly begins to slip out of her dress. Shell. Now, you're starting to get excited. Then it happens. The deed is done. Now she gets to carry the fertilized eggs under her abdomen until the eggs are ready to hatch. About a year from now, you will be a proud father of thousands of future snack packs that will be released in the same way that you were when you were born. They too will be subjected to the horrifying existence that you barely survived. Every now and then, you see this weird boxy thing jam-packed full of other king crabs. Up it goes until it disappears in the gloomy darkness of the ocean above. You're wondering, where are they going? Is it possible to go back to the surface and feel that warm, bright light and see those beautiful, white, fluffy things again? Maybe someday I will be lucky enough to catch that ride back to the surface.
Yeah, baby!
You've made it to your 7th birthday. You are finally a full-grown king crab, massive, armored, and absolutely terrifying. Your claws can snap through bone. You're the oceanic equivalent of a medieval knight. At this stage, you rule the seafloor, scuttling around like an armored tank with a bad attitude. You are no longer just a scavenger, you're a hunter, a predator, ready to pounce on anything that looks sideways at you. Slow-moving fish, mollusks, smaller crabs, they're all on the menu. Your diet has officially upgraded from gas station hot dogs to an all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. Then, out of the blue, it happens. One of those boxy things drops down from above. It lands a mere 50 feet from you. You can smell the sweet, putrid odor of rotting fish. You scuttle to it and climb through the odd-shaped opening. Once inside, you see a delicious meal ready for you to devour. More and more crabs come to join the party. You are getting excited because you now know that you get to take that ride to the surface and see that bright light again. While you and your comrades are enjoying the meal, the boxy thing slowly starts to move. It starts rising upward toward the surface. You can see the ocean floor below drifting further and further away. About halfway up, you begin to see the bright light, but it somehow looks different from what you remembered. Because this time, there are several bright lights. As you get closer to the surface, you hear a strange whining noise. Then suddenly, you've made it to the surface. But wait, now, you're out of the water. Then it hits you. Aw, crap. Is this that food chain thing again?